Most men think they already understand women. But the truth is, psychology tells a completely different story. Behind every smile, every choice, and even every text reply, there are hidden psychological patterns that reveal how women really think, feel, and connect to the world around them and to the people in their lives, especially in intimate relationships. In this video from Dark Facts 2.0, you'll discover 20 psychological facts about women that are 100% true facts that science has proven through years of research and observation, but very few men actually know or understand fully. If you're serious about understanding attraction, building stronger relationships, and avoiding the mistakes that most guys make, then watch closely, because these insights could completely change the way you see women forever and improve how you relate to them in meaningful ways. Fact 1. Women remember emotional details better than men. Research shows that women's brains are wired to remember emotional experiences more vividly than men due to differences in brain structure and hormone sensitivity. This is why she might recall something you said months ago, not because she's overthinking or holding grudges, but because her hippocampus and amygdala are more active during emotional events which store memories in richer emotional context. This is also why building positive emotional memories with her is more powerful than just buying gifts or making grand gestures. The emotional memory system is linked to decision-making, bonding, and long-term attachment, so creating joyful emotional anchors with her builds deep trust far faster than material gestures ever could. Emotional memories trigger oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, which are powerful bonding chemicals that reinforce attachment and romantic closeness over time. Fact 2. Women value confidence more than looks. Multiple studies across different cultures and age groups prove that confidence is one of the biggest attraction triggers for women. A man who stands tall, speaks with certainty, and knows his worth is perceived as more attractive than someone who only has good looks without presence. This is why confidence building is one of the smartest investments a man can make in himself, not just for attraction, but for success in every area of life. True confidence isn't arrogance or bragging, it's rooted in self-awareness, personal competence, and emotional control. And women can quickly sense whether a man's confidence is real or just an act based on subtle behavioral cues, vocal tonality, and micro-expressions. Confidence communicates strength, direction, and emotional independence, which are essential qualities in a high-value man. Fact 3. Women are more influenced by body language than words. Over 70% of human communication is nonverbal, and women are naturally more tuned into these signals, due to having a larger mirror neuron system and a more active right hemisphere in the brain which processes social cues faster. She will notice your posture, your tone of voice, even the way you look at her long before she processes what you're actually saying. In fact, women are about twice as likely as men to spot micro-expressions, subtle facial changes, and emotional incongruence. This means that being congruent in what you say and how you say it is critical, because incongruence triggers subconscious distrust and makes her question your authenticity or intentions. A woman's subconscious is constantly scanning for signs of truth or deception, so aligning your energy, words, and body language is essential. Fact 4. Women prefer men who can make them laugh. Humor is not just entertainment. It's evolutionary psychology and deeply rooted in human mating strategies. Laughter triggers dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, builds trust, lowers stress levels, and signals intelligence, creativity, and social awareness. A man who can make a woman laugh is subconsciously showing creativity and problem-solving ability, which are traits women find highly attractive across all stages of life. Shared laughter also creates emotional resonance, which strengthens bonds over time and makes a woman feel at ease in your presence by lowering social anxiety and increasing emotional openness. Humor creates a relaxed and enjoyable emotional state, which women associate with emotional safety and compatibility. Fact 5. Women experience emotions more intensely. Science shows that women's brains have a larger and more active limbic system which regulates emotions, mood, and empathy. This means they can feel both happiness and sadness more deeply, with greater neurological sensitivity and hormonal influence. This is not a weakness. In fact, it makes women more empathetic, socially intelligent, and emotionally attuned to their environment. For men, the key is to understand and respect those emotions rather than dismiss them or try to fix everything instantly. Emotional depth allows women to process social situations more intuitively and connect on levels that many men overlook. Emotional validation not only reduces stress but builds intimacy and makes her feel understood on a soul level. Fact 6. Women test a man's consistency. Psychologists call this congruence testing, and it happens both consciously and subconsciously. A woman will subconsciously test if your actions match your words and whether your behavior aligns with your stated values. If you say you're ambitious, she'll notice whether your lifestyle reflects it. If you say you're loyal, she'll pay attention to how you behave when she's not around, or how you treat others when she's not looking. Passing these subtle tests builds trust and attraction and signals that you are emotionally safe. These tests are rarely intentional but are part of how women protect themselves from emotional risk, betrayal, and disappointment, because inconsistency signals unreliability and emotional instability. Fact 7. Women prefer deep conversations over small talk. Studies reveal that women feel more connected when conversations go beyond surface-level topics and enter into emotional or intellectual territory. Asking thoughtful questions, listening actively, and sharing meaningful insights can make you stand out instantly and create deeper emotional impact. Small talk gets forgotten. Deep talk gets remembered. Depth creates emotional intimacy, and emotional intimacy fuels lasting desire and respect. Emotional intimacy allows her to feel seen, understood, and connected in ways that shallow conversations cannot replicate. Fact 8. Women are attracted to men who have purpose. Purpose is magnetic because it gives a man direction, focus, and inner drive. A man who is passionate about his goals, whether it's his career, business, or personal growth, radiates energy that women naturally gravitate towards and admire. This is not about money alone. It's about drive, vision, consistency, and direction. Without purpose, attraction fades quickly, because a man without direction signals a lack of leadership and emotional structure. Purpose signals emotional maturity, personal responsibility, and future potential, which are all traits associated with long-term compatibility and family-building instincts. Fact 9. Women notice effort more than expensive gifts. Contrary to what many men think, it's not always the price tag that matters, or the size of the gesture. A handwritten note, planning a thoughtful date, or paying attention to the little things she mentions in passing can create far stronger impact than just spending money. Why? Because effort signals genuine interest, emotional investment, and thoughtfulness, not just material display or temporary excitement. Effort shows presence, attentiveness, and long-term intention, which are far more emotionally rewarding to a woman than anything that can be bought with money. Fact 10. Women are drawn to emotional intelligence. One of the most underrated psychological facts is this emotional intelligence. The ability to understand and manage your own emotions, while being empathetic to hers, is one of the most powerful attraction. Triggers a man who can stay calm under pressure, listen without judgment, and respond with understanding will always stand out among men who react impulsively or shut down. Emotional intelligence helps resolve conflicts, build intimacy, and create a safe emotional environment for love to grow. It also increases her comfort with vulnerability, which is the foundation of emotional bonding. Fact 11. Women have a deep need for emotional connection. While physical attraction may start the spark, it's the emotional bond that keeps a woman's interest long-term. Emotional connection allows her to feel safe, heard, and valued, and these are the pillars of healthy relationships. This is why a man who makes an effort to understand her thoughts, feelings, and experiences on a deeper level holds more appeal than someone who relies solely on superficial charm, attention, or money. Emotional safety is a primary need for lasting intimacy, and when it's present, it leads to emotional surrender, trust, and loyalty. Fact 12. Women are highly attuned to authenticity. Women can often tell when a man is being genuine versus when he's putting on a facade due to their heightened social awareness and emotional radar. If you're trying to impress her with exaggerated stories or fake confidence, she'll sense it and feel something is off. Authenticity is key to building real attraction and trust. When you're true to yourself, you're much more likely to build a real and lasting connection. Women seek alignment between words, energy, and actions, and are finely tuned to emotional integrity. Emotional authenticity creates safety, which is more attractive than perfection. Fact 13. Women crave stability and reliability. This doesn't just mean financial stability. It also refers to emotional stability. A woman is attracted to a man who can offer a sense of calm and consistency in a chaotic, unpredictable world. This means being dependable, keeping promises, and being a strong pillar of support when needed. Stability reduces emotional uncertainty and helps her envision a long-term future with you. Emotional reliability is one of the top predictors of long-term relationship satisfaction because it builds a secure emotional base for love to thrive. Fact 14. Women appreciate men who listen. Not just hearing, but actually listening. Active listening involves paying attention, asking follow-up questions, and showing empathy and interest without interrupting or trying to dominate the conversation. It's a rare trait in a world where many are distracted or too focused on themselves. When a man truly listens to a woman, it signals that he values her perspective and sees her as an equal, and not just someone to impress or win over. Listening also builds trust because it demonstrates care, emotional presence, and respect. Fact 15. Women are influenced by their social circle. Women tend to care deeply about what their friends and family think about their relationships, especially when it comes to emotional safety and compatibility. If they receive positive feedback from their close circle about a man, it can enhance her attraction and deepen her emotional investment. This doesn't mean she's looking for approval. Rather, it's about feeling supported and validated in her choices. The opinions of trusted loved ones often reflect back onto her own sense of clarity, confidence, and emotional grounding, especially in the early stages of a relationship. Fact 16. Women like men who challenge them intellectually. Women are drawn to men who stimulate their minds, who can engage them in thoughtful conversations, and who challenge their views in a respectful way. Intellectual stimulation keeps things interesting, shows that a man has depth, and signals emotional compatibility beyond physical attraction. Women admire curiosity, open-mindedness, and a willingness to explore complex ideas together because it creates mental intimacy and mutual growth. Fact 17. Women are sensitive to how they feel around you. The way you make a woman feel, whether it's happy, safe, excited, respected, or valued, has a massive impact on how she perceives you and your potential as a partner. Positive emotions created through shared experiences often lead to stronger attraction and deeper emotional bonding, because feelings are the foundation of memory and decision-making for women. Conversely, if she feels disrespected, ignored, criticized, or dismissed even in subtle ways, it can quickly extinguish any potential emotional connection and create lasting negative associations. The emotional vibe you bring into a space directly shapes how connected she feels to you, because women are highly responsive to emotional cues and social energy, and they often base their long-term decisions on how safe and uplifted they feel in your presence, rather than just what you say or do on the surface. Fact 18. Women are drawn to men who are emotionally supportive. Whether she's going through a tough time facing stress or celebrating a personal win, being there for her emotionally shows that you are invested in her well-being and that you care about her inner world, not just her appearance or what she brings to the relationship. Offering support, encouragement, patience, and understanding in her highs and lows strengthens the connection, builds trust, and creates emotional intimacy that is hard to replace. Emotional support is the glue of long-term relationships and often the deciding factor in whether a woman sees a man as a partner. She can build a life with women. Remember how you showed up for them in moments of vulnerability more than anything else. And emotional support creates a safe space for her to be her full self without judgment. Fact 19. Women enjoy being appreciated. A simple thank you, a sincere compliment, A meaningful gesture of recognition or acknowledging her efforts in the relationship can go a long way toward deepening emotional closeness and respect. Recognizing her beyond just physical beauty and appreciating her personality, her intelligence, her support, or her passions helps her feel seen and valued for who she truly is, not just for what she can offer or how she looks. Gratitude enhances emotional bonding, shows emotional maturity, and sends the message that you do not take her for granted. Women thrive in environments where they feel genuinely appreciated because it reinforces their emotional investment and makes them more open, loving, and generous in return. Fact: 20 women value honesty over perfection. No one is perfect, and women know this deeply, but what they do value above all is honesty, transparency, and emotional realness. When a man is upfront about his flaws, his mistakes, and his intentions, it creates a sense of trust and authenticity in the relationship. Trying to present an idealized version of yourself or hiding parts of your truth will only lead to disappointment and mistrust when the truth eventually comes out. Honesty invites vulnerability, and vulnerability creates emotional depth, which is the true currency of intimacy in any romantic relationship. Women are drawn to men who have the courage to be real, who own their story, and who lead with integrity rather than image, because honesty signals strength, maturity, and emotional intelligence more than any act of perfection ever could. These additional psychological insights can help deepen your understanding of women and change the way you show up in your relationships. Whether you're seeking to build a romantic relationship or simply improve your interpersonal connections, remember that attraction is complex, layered, and deeply emotional, and that every woman is unique, with her own story, values, and emotional landscape. But these psychological principles hold true in a wide range of scenarios because they are rooted in neuroscience, behavioral psychology, and evolutionary patterns that have been consistently observed across cultures and generations. So those were 20 psychological facts about women that are 100% true and rooted in research, lived experience, and science-backed human behavior. Which of these surprised you the most, or which one helped you see things in a new light? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective and insights. And if you want to discover even more science-backed psychology facts that most men don't know or truly understand, then make sure to subscribe to Dark Facts 2.0 and watch the next video, because the more you understand the psychology of women, the smarter your relationships will become and the stronger your confidence, connection, and emotional intelligence will grow over time.